Ever get that feeling like you're searching for that one key idea? Something that could totally shift your perspective.
Totally, yeah.
But like you're drowning in a sea of information.
Yeah.
That's where we come in. Right?
Yeah.
We unpack those dense concepts so you can have those aha moments quickly and thoroughly without all the noise.
I like that.
So today we're diving deep into a topic that has the potential for some huge aha moments.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So you sent me this video
right
from the Quantum Wisdom channel on YouTube called What You Believe You Become, Observer Effect. Explain. And it's all about how our beliefs shape our reality.
It's a fascinating one.
Yeah, for sure. So to pick things off,
okay,
the video starts with this really powerful statement. It says, "It shall be done for you as you have believed."
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and it presents this idea not as some mystical concept, but as a universal law, like something science is starting to explore through quantum physics and this thing called the observer effect.
Right, yeah, the observer effect.
So what is that? What's at the core of the observer effect?
Well, in a nutshell, it's this idea that at the quantum level, the act of observing a particle actually changes here. Yeah, it's super weird. So before it's observed, a particle exists in this kind of blurry state of possibilities, like it could be anything.
Okay.
But the moment consciousness focuses on it, boom, it collapses into one.
Whoa. So it's like a consciousness is actually influencing the outcome.
That's the mind-blowing part, right? So the video takes this quantum weirdness and asks, could the same thing be happening in our own lives?
Wait, so you're saying that our beliefs could be acting like those observers?
Yeah, exactly. It's suggesting that what we expect to see, what we believe to be true, might actually be what we manifest around us.
Wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does this mean practically for someone listening right now?
Well, think about it this way. If you're walking around with this deep-seated belief that you'll never have enough money,
oh, yeah,
you're likely to see and experience a world that reflects that lack. But if you genuinely believe in abundance and that you are worthy of wealth, guess what?
Right.
The possibilities open up.
I mean, that makes sense, but why isn't everyone living their dream life if it were that simple?
Well, the video addresses that, and it says one of the main reasons people feel stuck is because they're so focused on their current reality that they're not even considering the what could.
They're so busy looking at the problem, they don't see a solution.
Exactly. They keep observing and reinforcing their current reality instead of directing their attention.
So it's like they're trapped in this feedback loop where they experience something negative, they focus on it, they talk about it, and that just makes it more real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the problem is most people aren't even aware that they can choose new beliefs. They just kind of go through life on autopilot with these limiting thoughts running in the background.
It's like that inner voice we all have that sometimes says things like, money is hard to come by, or I'm just not lucky in love.
Yeah. Right. And those thoughts are like commands to the universe. You're basically telling it what reality to create for you.
Wow, okay, so that's kind of scary, but also kind of empowering because it means we actually have the power to change our reality by changing our beliefs.
Exactly. So the video lays out a process for shifting those beliefs.
Okay, let's hear it.
The first step is awareness. You have to become conscious of the beliefs that are running the show in your life.
Okay, so how do we do that?
It's really about taking a moment to reflect and ask yourself some honest questions like, what are my core beliefs about money, about relationships, about my own abilities?
And be really, really honest with yourself.
Exactly. Brutal honesty.
Oh, got you.
Then once you've identified those limiting beliefs, you have to challenge them, like really question their validity. Where did they come from? Are they even true? Are they actually serving you?
That's going to be tough, I think, for a lot of people because some of these beliefs, we've had them for so long, we don't even question them.
I know it's not easy, but it's so important. And then once you've challenged those old beliefs, it's time to replace them with new empowering ones.
Okay, give us some examples.
So instead of thinking, I never have enough money, you start affirming abundance flows to me easily and effortlessly. Or instead of, I always mess things up, try, I am capable and everything works out for my highest good.
I love that. But won't our minds just resist those new affirmations? I mean, if we've been thinking the opposite for years.
Totally. Your mind will probably try to find evidence to support your old beliefs.
Right, like that's not how it works.
Exactly. But the key here is persist. You have to consistently choose to focus on the possibilities rather than the limitations. Keep observing your life through that new lens, even when it feels uncomfortable.
So it's about retraining our brains to see things differently.
Exactly. And this brings us to a really interesting point the video makes about.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
It basically redefines faith not as blind belief, but as the act of observing a reality before it exists.
Whoa, that's deep.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You're saying that when we have unwavering faith that things will get better, that we will achieve our goals, we're essentially acting as that observer in quantum physics, collapsing those possibilities into the reality we desire.
Exactly. It's like we're sending a powerful signal to the universe saying, this is what I believe to be true, so make it happen.
I mean, that ties in perfectly with that quote we started with, "It shall be done for you as you have believed."
Right. It's like that quote isn't just a nice saying, it's an actual principle of how reality works.
So if you believe you are worthy of love, you will experience love. If you believe you're unlucky,
Well, guess what?
you'll probably find yourself in a lot of unlucky situations.
Just like faith is the lens through which we create our reality.
I like that. And the most important takeaway here is that you are not a victim of circumstance. You have the power to choose what you believe and therefore what you experience.
So we're not just puppets of fate.
Not at all. We are the creators of our own lives. Love that. Okay, so the video also talks about energy, frequency, and vibration. How does that tie into all this?
So the idea is that everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency, including our thoughts and beliefs.
Wait, so you're telling me that my thoughts have a frequency?
Yeah, pretty much. And when you consistently hold a belief in lack or struggle, you're emitting a low-frequency energy signature. But when you focus on abundance and joy, your frequency goes up.
And the universe responds to that.
It's like tuning a radio, you know? If your mind is tuned to the station of fear and worry, that's all you're going to hear. But if you switch to the station of peace and gratitude, you'll start experiencing totally different reality.
So it's about changing the channel in our minds.
Precisely. And this is why doing that inner work, transforming our beliefs, is so crucial, because it changes our energetic frequency and ultimately creates outer change in our lives.
Makes sense.
Oh, well.
Okay, so let's talk about obstacles, because even when we try to adopt positive beliefs, sometimes we hit roadblocks.
Right. And the video points to fear and doubt as some of the biggest culprits.
Oh yeah, those are masked.
They really are. So you might intellectually understand this concept and try to affirm positive beliefs, but if deep down you're afraid of failure or you doubt that it will actually work for you, those fears can sabotage your efforts.
It's like those hidden fears are like little gremlins whispering in our ears, telling us we're not good enough or we don't deserve it.
It's like having a self-sabotage button that we keep hitting unconsciously.
So how do we deal with those gremlins?
The key is to first become aware of them. Don't try to suppress them or pretend they're not there. When a negative thought pops up, like, what if I fail or I'm not worthy, acknowledge it and then consciously choose to replace it with a stronger positive affirmation.
So like instead of what if I fail, you'd say something like, I am capable and I trust the process.
Exactly. The more you practice this, the weaker those fears become and the more your reality will shift.
So it's like a mental muscle we have to train.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it comes down to a choice, you know? Yeah. The video really drives this point home. It asks, are you going to keep operating under the same old limiting beliefs, or are you going to choose to believe in something greater in your own potential, in the possibility of a more fulfilling life?
Because the universe isn't holding back on it. It's waiting for us to decide what we want to experience.
Exactly. The moment you fully commit to that new belief, when you start seeing yourself as the abundant, loved, successful person you desire to be, that's when things really start to change.
It's like flipping a switch in our minds.
Yeah. And the universe responds accordingly.
That is so incredibly empowering to think about. So as you're listening to this, I want you to consider something. If our individual beliefs had such a huge impact on our personal life, what about the beliefs we share as a society?
Oh, yeah.
How are those collective beliefs shaping our world, the trends we see, the events that unfold? It's a really fascinating thing to ponder.
Totally. And this deep dive has really just scratched the surface of this topic. There's so much more to explore.
Totally. But hopefully this has given you some food for thought and maybe even inspired you to start experimenting with your own beliefs.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, you are the observer, you are the creator, and the reality you choose to focus on is the reality that will unfold.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks.
So go out there and create the life you truly desire.
You got it.